الذي هب فتاك لب نداك في هممي وقدمي هواك ترى نور ونار إخوتي هيا للعلا سعيا نشهد الدنيا أن هنا نحيا بشعار الله الوطن الملك.
Thank you. Welcome again to each and every one of you. مرحبا بضيوفنا الكرام. Morocco has a deep-rooted tradition of hospitality and openness to the world, and we want to make sure that you feel truly welcomed and get the most value over the next 2 days. We are very much aware that time is your most precious and non-renewable asset, and we are truly grateful that you've chosen to invest it with us. There are over 1,500 participants, ladies and gentlemen, from 36 countries, nearly 200 speakers, multiple opportunities for you to network, workshops and side events. We have put together a solid agenda, and to maximize your summit experience, please make sure to download the WOVA mobile app. You'll find all the times and locations in there, as well as the connection requests I am sure you have already received. This event, ladies and gentlemen, has undeniably become a must-attend in the industry. It serves as crossroads for policymakers, industry leaders, research experts, and global innovators to discuss Power-to-X opportunities and challenges, and to collaborate on the solutions that will propel us forward. In just a few moments, we will hear from our hosts and co-hosts with their welcoming addresses. Following that, we are privileged to hear from Her Excellency Leila Ben Ali, Minister of Energy, Transition and Sustainable Development, for the inaugural address. We will then move to the ministerial plenary, which showcases the high level of commitment and endorsement from both the public and the private sectors. After that, we have an incredible lineup of speakers for our 3 plenaries, as well as an agreement signing ceremony. And I will guide you through that each step as we go. Before formally kicking off our day together, ladies and gentlemen, here's a short video to set the scene. Thank you.
In the heart of North Africa, a bold vision is rising. A vision born from centuries of heritage, ignited by the power of nature, and driven by the courage to lead the world into a new era. This is Morocco, a land where innovation meets ambition, where the winds of change and the sun's endless energy light the path to a sustainable future. Guided by the forward-thinking leadership of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, Morocco is embracing the future with open arms. In 2024, we launch the Green Hydrogen Offer, a transformative initiative that will place Morocco at the center of the global green hydrogen revolution. This is not just a new energy, it's the future of industry, economy, and our planet. Our mission is clear: decarbonize industries, protect the environment, and unlock a wave of economic opportunities. With our unmatched natural resources, our strategic position, and our unwavering resolve, we are positioning Morocco as a global powerhouse for clean energy. And it all begins here at the World Power-to-X Summit, a stage where the brightest minds and boldest leaders converge, where deals are made, ideas are born, and the future is shaped. This is where we turn ambition into action. Here, the conversations are powerful, the partnerships game-changing, and the stakes higher than ever before. Together, we are not just talking about the future, we are building it. Together, we will push the boundaries of green hydrogen, unlock new opportunities, and create lasting impact for generations to come. Welcome to the World Power to X Summit, where the future of energy begins today.
It all begins here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not just talking about the future, we are building it. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage the organizers of the 4th edition of the World Power to X Summit. Let's give a warm round of applause to Dr. Samir Rashidi, Director General, Research Institute for Solar Energy and New Energies, IRESEN. Under your applause, please join us on stage. I am calling on Mr. Mohammed Yahya Zneber, President, Green Hydrogen Cluster. Let's please welcome him on stage as well. And I'm calling on Mr. Hisham Al-Habti, President of the University Mohammed VI Polytechnique UM6P. Please join us, gentlemen, and take your seats here. And I am also calling on Mr. Tariq Amzian Mufaddal, Chairman and CEO of the Moroccan Agency for Sustainable Energy, MASEN, as he is making his way to the stage. Welcome to you, gentlemen, and thank you so much for bringing us all together. Dr. Rashidi, if you could please come to the lectern and start your remarks. Thank you.
Excellencies, dear partners, colleagues, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure and honor for me to be standing before you today. Yes, indeed, this summit, for its 4th edition, is becoming a consistent regional dialogue platform for all of us. A dialogue platform to align our visions, to connect the dots and make the green hydrogen economy at scale a reality. Yes, we are a bit far, but still remembering how we grew from the 250 connected participants in our first online edition in 2020 to plus 500 in 22, plus 1,000 last year, and more than 1,600 participants this year. Thank you. So thank you very much. Thanks to each and every one of you for sustainably fueling this summit with your energy, trust, and most importantly, your engagement. Thank you and welcome again to the beautiful city of Marrakech, to your second home, Morocco, a promising land for low-carbon economy, a country open to the world and to win-win partnerships, a country that is playing a massive role in shaping the future for a competitive and low-carbon hydrogen. As you know, globally, the so-called hydrogen hype is turning into reality and is materializing through concrete auctions awards, real project developments, despite the difficult international and geopolitical context. We may have less announcements of gigawatt-scale projects. However, more realistic, multi-phase, 100-megawatt-scale projects are being structured for the short term, in which developers, OEMs, and policymakers are adapting to the challenges faced in building up funding mechanisms, structuring long-term offtake agreements, upscaling electrolysis industry, preparing the infrastructure, accelerating innovation, and qualifying the human capital. This is a good sign, a sign of readiness for the hydrogen market. Time is not for gigantism and huge leaps. Time is for realism, pragmatism, small but yet steady feet. Time is for action. In Morocco, under the visionary leadership of His Majesty the King Mohammed VI, may the Almighty assist him, concrete hydrogen actions are taking place. After validating the Moroccan Green Hydrogen Roadmap in 21, His Majesty has given instructions to the government to establish an Offre Maroc for green hydrogen end of 22, which has been published last March. After thorough, intensive transsectoral discussions, expert consultations, and international benchmarks, all resulting again in a realistic, pragmatic, and multi-phase approach. In the meanwhile, His Majesty has given his blessing to the bold yet realistic OCP green ammonia project that will play a critical role in triggering and structuring a viable and sustainable hydrogen market and industrial ecosystem. So in Morocco, our vocabulary for green hydrogen now is RFIs, RFQs, pre-FEED, FEED, gigafactories, demonstration, and training. At IRESEN, we're proud and humbled to have been at the heart of all this dynamic from the beginning. After years of engagement in this path, we continue to play our role as a think and do tank in a collective intelligence with all partners and stakeholders. Years ago, while carrying out our studies resulting in the draft of the Green Hydrogen Roadmap, co-founding the Green Hydrogen Cluster, and shaping this dialogue platform of the World PTX Summit, we were also establishing with our partners, OCP, UM6P, and more recently, Innovex, a unique R&D and innovation acceleration platform for hydrogen technologies and their applications, Green H2A. Settled at one of the beating hearts of the Moroccan chemical industry in Jorf Lasfar, Green H2A will host the first megawatt-scale PTX project in Morocco, producing 4 tons per day of green ammonia, based on a dual electrolysis capacity, PEM and alkaline. The electrolyzers are having their factory test acceptance at the moment, and commission operation will start by Q4 next year. So you know what site visits you will be expecting for next edition. In addition, my colleagues are working very hard on a second e-methanol megawatt-scale demonstration unit to be operational in Q4 2027, thanks to the massive support of the government, mainly the Federal Ministry of Cooperation and Development, BMZ, and the Federal Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Actions, BMVK, through a combined grant structured by both KfW and GIZ, totalizing plus 21 million euros of grant. Thank you. Green H2A tech platform will therefore be testing hydrogen technologies and innovations through all the value chain at a pre-industrial level, building bridges between fundamental and academic research, as well as industry and markets. A reference center in the African continent and the MENA region for upscaling and upskilling, and for building expertise and capacities. As a business model, it will have a service providing driven philosophy to all hydrogen stakeholders to help them collect real data, achieve technical due diligence, and by consequence, de-risk their investments. Green H2A shall be also a strong tool for the Offre Maroc, coordinated by our co-founding member, MASEN, providing concrete knowledge and know-how, affording technical support, and facilitating impactful industrial localization of value and jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, some dreams do come true. And thanks to the Almighty, all the story I told you this morning and all what you see and feel today was once an idea, a dream in our mind. So brace yourself, because we dreamt of massive green industrial zones popping up in many regions of Morocco, from Mujda to Gouira. We dreamed of gigafactories of batteries, electrolyzers, wind turbines, and photovoltaic. Yes, we have big dreams. So brace yourself again. We haven't finished dreaming, and the best is yet to come. I cannot conclude today without paying a huge tribute to all our supporters and allies in this endeavor. I would like to thank first Her Excellency, our Minister, Dr. Benali, for her leadership, and her team for their continuous support. a warm and a special thank to my dream team at IRESEN that are making miracles literally every day at work. Thank you also to our co-organization partners, Green Hydrogen Cluster, UM6P, and a special welcome to MASEN in the organizing committee this year. Many thanks to all our partnering sponsors who made this gathering possible under such a wonderful conditions. And above all, many thanks to you, all of you who are here today, for making this event a success by your presence. I wish you all a fruitful summit. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Dr. Samir Rashidi. The best is yet to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now welcome to the lectern Mr. Mohammed Yahya Zneber, President, Green Hydrogen Cluster. Thank you.
First of all, I want to apologize to the person who speaks English. And like the last years, this year I will talk in French, probably for the big pleasure of the French ambassador in Morocco. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres, Excellences, Messieurs les ambassadeurs, Excellences, Messieurs les secrétaires généraux, directeurs généraux, présidents et directeurs de sociétés et d'agences publiques, Mesdames et Messieurs, c'est avec un profond enthousiasme que nous nous réunissions aujourd'hui pour la 4e édition du World Power to X Summit. Cet événement, qui prend chaque année une ampleur croissante, est un véritable témoignage de notre engagement pour commun envers la transition énergétique. Je tiens à exprimer notre sincère gratitude à Sa Majesté le roi Mohammed VI, que Dieu le protège, pour avoir bien voulu renouveler son haut patronage pour cet événement. Ce soutien royal souligne l'importance cruciale de cette initiative pour notre pays et notre avenir. Je commencerai, si vous le permettez, par une phrase de Jules Verne, l'écrivain français, dans son roman « L'île mystérieuse ». Et là, je le cite, « Oui, mes amis, je crois que l'eau sera un jour employée comme combustible, que l'hydrogène et l'oxygène qui la constituent, utilisés isolément ou simultanément, fourniront une source de chaleur et de lumière inépuisable et d'une intensité que la houille ne saurait avoir. » C'était en 1874. Nous sommes en 2024 et l'offre Maroc est là par la volonté royale et sommes ici donc pour discuter du trio électricité, eau et hydrogène. C'est un sujet qui ne constitue pas seulement un enjeu technique, mais qui est également au cœur de notre développement socio-économique. La production d'hydrogène vert ne doit pas être considérée comme un but en soi, mais plutôt comme une étape vers la création d'un écosystème industriel robuste et innovant. Avec près de 15 années d'expérience dans le domaine des énergies renouvelables, le Maroc est particulièrement bien positionné pour tirer profit de cette opportunité. L'hydrogène vert repose sur notre maîtrise des ressources renouvelables et de l'eau. Nous avons fait des progrès significatifs dans la gestion de ces ressources, mais il est maintenant temps de nous concentrer sur l'électrolyse, le transport, le stockage et l'utilisation de l'hydrogène, ainsi que sur le développement de l'industrie chimique autour de cette molécule. Ces étapes ouvriront un large éventail de possibilités pour le développement de l'industrie marocaine. Bien que plusieurs maillons de la chaîne de valeur soient déjà présents sur notre territoire, il est impératif d'en créer un certain nombre d'autres pour renforcer notre position sur le marché international. Cependant, le simple désir de progresser ne suffit pas. Nous devons agir de manière concertée pour bâtir cette chaîne de valeur. Le rôle de l'État est essentiel, non seulement pour établir les infrastructures et les réglementations nécessaires, mais aussi pour soutenir le développement du mode de financement adapté aux investisseurs. En parallèle, le secteur privé doit prendre l'initiative d'investir et de s'engager activement dans cette dynamique. Cela nécessite une vision partagée et un engagement mutuel entre les différentes parties prenantes. Il est crucial de favoriser la production locale d'équipements par nos petites et moyennes industries. Cela demandera une politique de financement efficace et une volonté d'intégration industrielle. Les développeurs doivent également inclure des critères incitatifs pour l'industrie marocaine dans les cahiers des charges de leurs appels d'offres. Ainsi, nous pouvons assurer une véritable appropriation des projets par notre tissu industriel local. De plus, le secteur privé doit transcender ses activités commerciales pour embrasser pleinement l'industrialisation. Bien que nombreux soient ceux qui partagent cette ambition, il est essentiel d'instaurer des conditions favorables, notamment un soutien financier adéquat. Une banque publique d'investissement à l'image de la BPI française ou de l'ICO espagnol pourrait jouer un rôle déterminant dans ce processus. Il est également crucial d'encourager les épargnants à investir dans le développement industriel de nos PMI et PME à travers des fonds d'investissement et des programmes similaires au plan individuel d'épargne en Italie, par exemple, offrant ainsi des incitations attractives. Par ailleurs, le partenariat international est fondamental pour attirer des investissements significatifs et maîtriser les technologies clés de la chaîne de valeur. Toutefois, il est essentiel que l'implication des investisseurs étrangers ne réduise pas les industriels marocains à un rôle passif. Leur engagement dès le début des projets est crucial pour anticiper les besoins d'investissement et pour garantir que notre industrie bénéficie pleinement de ces collaborations. L'économie de l'hydrogène vert représente une opportunité inestimable pour le développement de nos petites et moyennes industries. Cette dynamique peut générer de nombreux emplois et renforcer notre tissu économique. Les organismes publics, notamment les ministères et les agences, doivent collaborer étroitement avec le secteur privé pour élaborer des stratégies de développement efficaces. Ensemble, nous pouvons construire une vision partagée de l'avenir énergétique au Maroc. Nous ne devons pas manquer le tournant offert par la transition énergétique. Il est vital d'encourager un équilibre régional, national, mais aussi avec nos proches partenaires voisins internationaux, en adaptant aux spécificités des ressources de chaque zone en matière d'infrastructures et de compétences humaines. De plus, investir dans la formation et l'innovation, tout en soutenant les entreprises ainsi que les établissements d'enseignement supérieur et de recherche est fondamental pour notre avenir économique. Le cluster Green H2 aspire à apporter une contribution significative à cette dynamique. Grâce à la diversité de ses membres provenant des secteurs industriels, académiques et de la recherche, il joue un rôle clé dans l'accélération de notre transition vers un avenir durable. Son efficacité dans ce rôle dépendra de son engagement dans les différentes réflexions et actions, mais sans la volonté publique, nous n'y arriverons pas. Le programme de cette année se distingue par sa richesse et sa diversité accrue, témoignant de l'intérêt grandissant des participants, comme en atteste le nombre élevé des participants, mais aussi de sessions et d'événements annexes et parallèles. Le Maroc, en tant que nation fiable, crédible, abrite une population jeune qui aspire à un avenir meilleur. Et engageons-nous collectivement à faire en sorte que nos enfants soient encore plus fiers de notre pays et des accomplissements réalisés sous la sage direction de Sa Majesté le roi Mohammed VI, que Dieu l'assiste. Et je vous remercie pour votre attention.
Merci infiniment, Monsieur Mohamed Yahya Znebel, pour votre mot de bienvenue. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that anyone who needs live translation headsets has their headsets with them. If not, just please raise your hand and someone from the team will be happy to assist you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now welcome to the lectern the president of UM6B, Mr. Hisham Labti. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, bonjour, sabah khair. Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, honored guests, it is with immense pleasure that I welcome you to the World Power to X Summit. This event aligns with the vision of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, who positions Morocco as a pioneer in energy transition and a hub for green technologies, resolutely committed sustainable development. The University Mohammed VI Polytechnique, launched in 2017, is also the fruit of his royal vision. UM6P is an institution focused on applied research and innovation, dedicated to supporting sustainable development across Africa through science, technology, and entrepreneurship. Our mission is to train leaders capable of addressing global challenges with innovative solutions and local expertise. With its campus in Benghazi and additional campuses in Rabat and Laayoune, UM6P also has international branches, including UM6P France and UM6P Canada, aimed at fostering international cooperation, expanding our global reach, and facilitating academic and scientific exchange worldwide. Green hydrogen is at the core of our initiative for energy transition. Among our major projects in the green hydrogen technology platform developed in partnership with IRESEN and OCP Group. This infrastructure, with a 4 megawatt electrolysis capacity, is designed to test, validate, and optimize technologies at a pre-industrial scale, thereby supporting the development of the green hydrogen sector in Morocco. The Green H2A platform is dedicated to research and innovation and represents a critical step toward building a robust value chain around green hydrogen, positioning Morocco as a leader in this strategic sector. We have also established the Green Energy Park, an 8-hectare platform dedicated to applied research on renewable energy and energy efficiency in partnership with IRESEN. This center houses more than 10 specialized laboratories and collaborates with over 20 industrial and academic partners in Morocco and internationally. These facilities enable pilot projects, particularly for the production and storage of green hydrogen, providing concrete solutions to accelerate the energy transition. The Climate Impulse Project, in partnership with the OCP Group and ScienceQ, perfectly illustrates UM6P commitment to sustainable energy. This ambitious project aims to achieve a non-stop flight around the world aboard an aircraft powered by green hydrogen by 2028. It demonstrates our determination to promote hydrogen as an essential energy vector for a decarbonized future and to contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. UM6P plays a central role in Morocco's national energy strategy. Through the development of advanced technologies and community projects, we actively contribute to Morocco's energy goals. This national strategy is also part of a broader effort to position Morocco as a major player in the global energy transition by developing innovative solutions for the production and the use of green hydrogen. This summit, which brings together hundreds of leaders, scientists, industry representatives, and experts, is a perfect example of the importance of collaboration in building sustainable energy future. UM6P is really proud to play a leading role in promoting Power2X, fully aligned with our mission to advance science for socio-economic development. This initiative should enable Morocco to establish a robust green hydrogen value chain and effectively support the implementation of Maroc, launched to position our country as a leader in the renewable energy sector. In conclusion, this summit represents a unique opportunity to forge strong partnerships, exchange innovative ideas, and jointly pave the way toward a successful energy transition. UM6P will continue to support efforts aimed at transforming our energy mix. We hope these days of exchange will be a source of inspiration for each of you. I thank you for your presence and commitment, and I wish you a summit rich in discussions and perspective. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Mr. Hisham Al-Habib, for your welcoming address. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the lectern Mr. Tariq Amzian Mufdal, Chairman and CEO of the Moroccan Agency for Sustainable Energy.
Bonjour, Sabah al-Khair. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Ambassadors, Kingdom of Morocco partners and investors, CEOs and presidents from public and private institutions, dear friends. It's an honor to welcome you to this new edition of the annual World Power Summit to X. First, I wish to express our deep gratitude for the trust placed in MASEN, the co-organizer of this event, under the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, and under the auspices of the Ministry of Energy, Transition and Sustainable Development of the Kingdom of Morocco. For over a decade, Morocco, guided by the clear vision of His Majesty, has undertaken an ambitious energy transition, allowing it today to occupy a leading position both in the region and worldwide in the development of renewable energies. For 15 years, MASEN teams, and many of them are here today for you, played a key role for this transformation. We have overcome the challenge of developing large scale of projects that place renewable energies at the heart of Morocco energy today. Today, His Majesty's vision drives us for greater achievement. Thanks to our pioneer position in renewable energies, our natural resources, our strategic geographical location, our world-class infrastructure, and our human capital, the Kingdom of Morocco is ready to assume a key role in the global energy transition. As part of this vision, MASEN is committed to continue to accelerate the development of structuring projects, particularly those identified within the framework of the National Equipment Plan, while seeking operational excellence at every stage, from design to operational of green electricity production infrastructures. MASEN is also proud as the focal point of hydrogen offering in Morocco, to bring its expertise and commitment in accordance with the circular issued in March 2024, to make Morocco a hub in the new field of green hydrogen, a crucial energy vector and the main catalyst for the energy transition and sustainable growth. The path is set, but for the vision to become a reality, we must act together. MASEN, as a focal point, is committed to supporting all stakeholders, national and international, public and private institutions, around these common ambitions. Together, we will build a green hydrogen hub able of addressing the global energy challenges of tomorrow and seizing the economic opportunities that arise. Your presence here from all around the world demonstrates the high potential you recognize in these projects, and we thank you for that. This international cooperation, this pooling of expertise and resources is essential to lay the foundation of a robust and sustainable green economy, meeting the interest of all participants we are here. Finally, it's crucial to remember that every advance in clean energy must be joined by a strong commitment to sustainable development. Every project we undertake must not only contribute to the energy transition, but also create value for our communities, generating positive local and economic outcomes. This summit is a unique opportunity for each of us to share our ideas, learn from one another, and forge sustainable partnerships. Together, we have the opportunity to build a future where green hydrogen will play a central role in our energy strategies. May this summit be full of productive discussions, insightful learning, and promising opportunities. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amzian Moufdal. Thank you, gentlemen, for your welcoming addresses. Please take your seats in the front row so we can continue our agenda together. Thank you so much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, before welcoming Her Excellency Minister Leila Ben Ali to the stage, let us take a moment to watch a quick video highlighting the best moments from last year's edition. Thank you. Emotional images. 1 year already, ladies and gentlemen, and so much has happened. Since, ladies and gentlemen, this summit is organized under the auspices of the Ministry of Energy Transition and Sustainable Development of the Kingdom of Morocco, please join me in welcoming Her Excellency Leila Ben Ali.
Good morning, everyone. Sabah al-khair. Ministers, my dear colleagues, Minister Sakouri, Minister of Economic Inclusion, Small Businesses, Employment and Skills, Mr. Riyad Mzour, our Minister of Industry and Trade, Mr. Mohsin Jazouli, our Minister in charge of Investments and Public Policy Convergence, our Minister Abdeljalil, Minister of Transport. I think I didn't forget any of our Moroccan ministers, but I also would like to also welcome our friends, our European partners as well. I see Mr. Gérard Mestralet, Special Envoy of French President, our presidents of MASEN, UMCSP, Cluster Hydrogène, and of course our dear friends from IRESEN who have been taking a big leadership role in organizing this summit that is becoming more and more important. I mean, last year I was wondering why are people interested in what is just a power conference at the end of the day. It should not be creating such a big fuss. But excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable guests, all protocol observed, it's really a great honor for me today to welcome you to this 4th edition of the World Power to X summit that is taking place again in the beautiful city of Marrakech, organized under the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI. And I would like to start, indeed, by remembering the victims of last year's earthquake. We were last year gathered 10 days after the terrible earthquake that hit Morocco and took the lives of more than 3,000 people and injured more than 6,000 people. And it was the first international conference in Marrakech at the time. And we really wanted last year's summit to be first a symbol of resilience of our country, but also to highlight our duty to build back better. We owe it to those people. We owe it to the people of our country, and we owe it to the people of the world. And I would also like to thank our ecosystem from the public and the private sector, who have also, all the companies that have been active in the energy space, in the renewable space, in the mining sector, and other industrial companies who have contributed significantly in kind and in money to the relief effort and to the reconstruction effort. And you can visit some of the solar panels and the batteries that were installed, including, thanks to MASEN, in some villages in the House provinces. So, ladies and gentlemen and dear friends, last year the theme was not power to X, but power to the people, because we wanted to remind the world that we are doing this for the people. And this year, we thought it is very important, given all the changes that happened over the last year in geopolitics, in technology, in trade, in policy changes, that we come to the world Power to X with a lot of humility. First, humility towards nature. We had a stark reminder last year, and since we want to harness the solar and wind resources and the land that comes from our nature, we should not forget that we are harnessing the power of nature for the people. Humility also towards, and you've heard me saying that already in the past, towards technology, technological changes and innovation. Nobody knows how the hydrogen, the green hydrogen, green methanol, green ammonia value chain is going to look like in the next few years. And by the way, my dear Samir Rashdi, I'm not going to wait until the fourth quarter of 2027 to get your green methanol pilot project in place. So, to be humble towards technology changes, we need to be ready to see, to witness, and have pilot projects for green methanol, for electrolyzers with or without membranes to be developed as fast as possible over the next few years. Humility towards policy changes and tax policies. And please, let's not underestimate post-COVID shocks. We are looking into some of the policy changes that are happening in the world. And remember, I was the first member of government to visit Berlin 1 month after the Russia-Ukraine war. And I remember at the time, I mentioned a $2 per kilogram production cost for green hydrogen. This was before Inflation Reduction Act. This was before subsidies into the green hydrogen space. And now we're having additional policy changes that happened over the last few years that are totally reshaping the value chains in green hydrogen, green ammonia, green methanol, because these are the sectors that we are tackling. So if we look, for example, at the ramifications of EU tariffs on Chinese EV that you've seen coming up last week, analysts are saying that this move might push back carbon targets and the timeline of carbon targets. Now, it's definitely not my role to dictate or to lecture anyone on what sort of policies they should take. And definitely not my role to dictate what sort of policies our EU partners will choose. But it's definitely my role to tell them, and I've been saying that over the last two years, that if they want access to low-cost, low-carbon energy and secure, stable, low-cost, low-carbon energy, we'll need those cables. We need those green shipping lanes. We need that green manufacturing pitched and financed in 2024. It's today that is happening. Last point when it comes to humility, and by the way, we need all this to be pitched and financed in 2024 simply because today, with all the changes that are happening in the world, Morocco is the only corridor linking Africa, the last reservoir of productive capacity if the world still wants to produce any additional growth over the next century, with the Atlantic Basin and Europe. The last point when it comes to humility is humility towards, indeed, project financing and project structuring. The models have to be changed. And one of the examples that we have, and that's also a message that I'm sending to our national utility, if you look at the investment plan of ONE today, we really want to make sure that they are given all the resources required to invest in transmission and distribution, particularly in transmission. Because there's no way for us to transport those electrons in the most efficient way if we don't multiply the pace of investments in our grids annually by 5, starting in 2021, so we're already late, and that's why today you will not see $1 billion of capex over the next 5 years for ONE in transport. You will not see $2 billion. You will see $3 billion of investment opportunities in transport. And we're having a side event tomorrow where we will focus on what sort of investment models to accelerate investments in grids and transportation. And I can apply the same thing for transporting, the same humility in project structuring for molecule transports, being in ships or pipelines. So we need the private sector. We definitely need financial institutions to take their fair share risk in this endeavor. My team wanted me to give a signal when it comes to the type of rates of returns that we are expecting, but I'll leave that to the side event tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, you're all here, and I'm happy to see a full room. You're all here also because of the Morocco green hydrogen offer. And Samir Rashdi has already given you the highlights of how we structured and the institutional space to give investors, well, first visibility, but also a safe space and a very transparent space where we can all manage together those policy risks, technology risks, and other risks while we are developing those technologies and fuels of the future. So I will not delve too much into the details of the Morocco green hydrogen offer. I just want to say that this land base of 1 million hectares that we have identified and mobilized is primarily primarily to help us and help the world de-risk these future technologies in the 3 key sectors that will be off-taking those green electrons and molecules: electricity, industry, and transport. So today, I encourage each and every one of you to really seize these opportunities presented during this summit, to engage deeply in the discussions, collaborate on the solutions in 2024, not in 2030, because together we really have the potential to accelerate our progress. Africa cannot wait, Morocco cannot wait, and the world cannot wait. So I would really want you to come to this summit with an open mind, with a building on the legacy of innovation, cooperation, and really leadership that this summit has been known for over the last 4 editions. So thank you very much for being here, and I really look forward to the exciting discussions and innovations that will emerge during this summit. Welcome to the 4th edition of the World Power to X Summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your inspiring speech. We kindly ask you to please take a seat as we welcome the other distinguished guests together. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome to the stage His Excellency, Mr. Riyad Mazzour, Minister of Industry and Trade. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. We are also welcoming His Excellency Younes Sekouri, Minister of Economic Inclusion, Small Business, Employment and Skills of the Kingdom of Morocco. Welcome to you, sir. We are also welcoming on stage His Excellency Mohammed Abdel Jalil, Minister of Equipment, Transport and Logistics, as he's making his way to the scene. Welcome to you, sir. We are honored to have among us Mr. Sheikh Nian, Secretary General of Energy, Ministry of Energy, Petroleum and Mines of the Republic of Senegal. Please welcome him on stage as well. And we are also very privileged to have among us Mr. Shakib Lelij, representing the private sector, President of the General Confederation of Moroccan Enterprises, CGEM. Thank you all. Please take your seats as Mr. Shakib Lelij is joining us. Thank you, everyone, for your commitment and dedication to advancing the energy transition in our region. Your presence, all of you here, really underscores the high level of commitment and endorsement for this crucial topic. Before we dive in, we have received a video from Her Excellency Tien van der Straten, Minister for Energy of the Kingdom of Belgium. Let's watch it together and be back for the conversation. Thank you.
Dear Minister Ben Ali, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Congratulations on the growing success of the Power to X Summit. Last year, we highlighted the importance of energy cooperation, specifically in green hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe and a vast source of clean fuel. It can reduce carbon emissions and tackle climate change. For investors, it's an equally rich source of economic opportunity. Morocco and Belgium have delivered on this commitment. In April, we have successfully negotiated and signed a Memorandum of Understanding on cooperation in the energy transition. The partnership includes collaborative research and development on green hydrogen. One key area for hydrogen development is the shipping industry. Shipping is the lifeblood of international trade. But beneath the surface lies a pressing challenge. If shipping were a country today, it would be the world's 3rd largest CO2 emitter. So let's focus on the future. Picture a world where those very ships, instead of emitting greenhouse gases, are powered by clean, renewable energy. And this is not a distant dream. This is the promise of hydrogen. Several pioneering shipping companies have already taken initiatives. They are not waiting for the industry to catch up. They are leading the change. They understand that the future of shipping depends on innovation, collaboration, and a commitment to sustainability. This transition is not without its challenges. Consider the certification of green hydrogen, international standards, and the infrastructure for its production, export, import, transportation, and use. It is my firm belief that we can tackle those challenges by working together to create the necessary infrastructure, establish certification standards, and develop a robust network for hydrogen production, transportation, and use. Belgium is ready to partner with you. We have established transport legislation and a plan to connect our coast to major consumption centers in Belgium and Germany. We believe in fair and equal partnerships. We may not know what the future holds, but we are preparing for it. Together, we shape the future. Belgium and its companies are ready to collaborate with their Moroccan counterparts, not just here at the conference, but for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency van der Straten, for your remarks and for taking us through this vision of what the world could be. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also received a video from Mr. Jochen Flasbart, State Secretary in the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development of the Federal Republic of Germany. Let's listen to his remarks.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, I'm sending my best and warmest regards to the Power to X World Summit to Marrakech in Morocco. I remember very well when I visited the last year's World Summit on Power to X in Marrakech, and it was just a couple of days after the horrible earthquake in your country. Everybody in the world thought that the Power to X Summit would not happen because all the disaster had to be fixed. But still, the Moroccan government, the people of Morocco, hosted this enormously important event. We were all impressed while you were mowing about the people, the lives you lost. At the same time, you started to fix what had been destroyed and to rebuild the infrastructure and the houses in your country. And at the very same time, you also invited and hosted the whole world for Power to X to discuss about the future of the world economy, which will be based on renewable energy, on green hydrogen and its derivatives. This year again, you are discussing with the world community how to enhance the collaboration. You made the Moroccan offer to enhance private capital investments in green hydrogen around the world. This is something which is desperately needed all around the world in all the economies of the future. Morocco is showing clear leadership. Unfortunately, I can't be in Marrakech this time, as we are hosting in Hamburg the Hamburg Sustainability Conference the first time, right at the same date. But still, there are some overlaps on the issues. We are also dealing with green hydrogen. We are discussing green shipping lines, also together with Morocco and other countries. So hopefully next year I can be in Marrakech again, and hopefully our Moroccan friends can be in Hamburg at the second edition in June next year of the Hamburg Sustainability Conference. Thank you for all what you are doing. Shukran, and all the best for the conference.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to hosting you in Morocco next year. Excellencies, we're going for 2 rounds of questions right now, really quick round of questions, and I'll start with you, Excellency Leila Ben Ali. In your view, what are the key success factors for Morocco to become a global leader in the emerging hydrogen economy, and how can the country leverage on its renewable energy resources to achieve this?
Wow, thank you very much. I need probably 3 hours to answer this question, which I don't have because I really want to leave the space for my colleague ministers and the president of our private sector and our dear guests from Senegal to really give their thoughts about what they are expecting Morocco to produce over in the next few years as a potential, as I said, the only corridor linking Africa, Europe, and the Atlantic Basin. And I think some of the key factors of success were already mentioned by our dear friends, Her Excellency Tina from Belgium and His Excellency Jochen from Germany. I think there's a lot of collaboration now and discussions of collaborations now that are happening. And for us, it's very clear that there is a clear interest in getting together and making sure that we go beyond the PowerPoint and the MOUs mentality into a little bit more binding contracts to say that if we are together on both sides of the Mediterranean, on both sides of the Atlantics, if we are serious about bringing the lowest cost possible energy and the cleanest energy to our people, because the world is facing more and more volatility, more and more inflation, it's time. It's time to really to show that credibility to our populations. I remember at the beginning of 2024, we were a bit concerned with, including with our European partners, and some of our African partners as well, because 2024, it was an election year. You have 50% of the world population that is electing their leaders in 2024. It's not very conducive to have discussions about long-term contracts to be able to finance the type of infrastructure that we need to minimize the costs of green energy, green electrons, and green molecules. So the key factors of success that Morocco brings, first and foremost, is this stability, long-term vision. And when I say stability, it's not only political stability, it's also policy stability. And the fact that we are in this game for the long term, because it's only by getting together and structuring contracts in the safest way possible. And we have 15 years of experience in developing renewable energy projects. MASEN here knows that very well. I mean, they took the bet of a CSP technology back in the beginning of 2010. We need bold leaders and bold entities like that that will enable us to get into the projects and start them. And along the road, of course, there will be mistakes. Of course, we will have to be agile and flexible to say, well, I mean, on the PowerPoint slide, it looked nice, but actually in reality, the project might not reach the rate of return. Actually, we might go bankrupt. Actually, there might be some deficits. So we need to have the courage, and I'm sorry to say the political courage, and we think that Morocco has that political courage to say, we've had the private sector involved in the energy sector for more than 30 years, including in areas where the private sector has historically not been involved. And we have more than 15 years of experience in developing cutting-edge technologies in the renewable space. So we provide you with a framework and a regulatory and institutional framework called the Morocco Hydrogen Offer to enable you to take those risks with us. So the key factors of success are definitely this long-term stability in the vision.
Thank you very much for reminding us of these key fundamentals. Your Excellency Riyad Mazzour, in the light of Morocco's growing ambitions in green hydrogen and renewables, how can the country enhance its industrial integration to support these sectors and create a competitive advantage in global green energy markets?
Well, I had the question before, and I was thinking about the way to answer. There are two ways. Let's be positive and say we have a lot of potential. We have a $100 billion market that is coming to install all these facilities in the next 5, 6, 7 years. And if we are good, we can take 30 billion of local production. And then we have to see where we are. And now, if we see where we are, we have a chance to take a 3-4 billion contract out of this 100 billion. So we need to build our ecosystem to be able to reach the target of 30 to 40%. Up to 60% integration means we're getting 30% or 25% value added locally. What does it mean at the end of the day? It does mean, first of all, to be ready, and we are. Our industrial partners, our ecosystem, investors are there and are ready. Ready enough, I'm not sure. We're working on it. We need to be ready. Second, we need to make people that are investing trust them, because they're used to work with other suppliers, with other partners. I mean, they're installing renewable energy mass, but bringing people from China to install them, even if we have people locally that are able to do that, that invested to do that, and that are cheaper in doing that. So we need to educate our investors to use local capabilities and local talents. Third, we need to be clear. I have a good friend. He's in the room here, always telling me, what are we getting out of that? We're giving our land, we're giving sun, we're giving wind. What is the gain for Morocco and for Moroccans? The only gain, or we have two, it's linked to power to X for me, means power to jobs. I need to convert this ability to create power in jobs for our people, and good jobs. And these good jobs will be taken in building the value chain, in using our innovation, in educating our investor to use local technology and to integrate local content, and in transforming the molecule into products. But this is the second question, I think.
Thank you very much, Excellency. We need the trust, we need clarity, and we need a win-win collaborations. And we need to create jobs, which offers a perfect transition. For me, Your Excellency Younes Sekouri, what role does the promotion of employment and skills play in the transition to greener and more innovative industries, and how is your ministry preparing to meet the growing demands for new skills, especially in light of the national strategy for green hydrogen?
Thank you for your question, and thank you for the invitation, Leila. I'd like to take it from what was said just before. With your speech on humility, it provides important thoughts on the posture we should have at the national level, so that all the process is conducted with scrutiny, with precise objectives, but with a soul. The question we ask ourselves in the government while we're preparing this new roadmap on employment, you know that we've been working on that for a couple of months now, and we will be announcing the new map by the next weeks, is for this specific sector, what are we facing exactly? We're facing a double paradigm shift in terms of investment, employment. It's related to two parameters. The first one is the change on skills. So the question is, all the investors, the investments, are they requiring new skills, total new skills that we need to prepare? Or can we build on what we have? And to what extent we will be offering the scale that is necessary to be parallel to the investment effort that Her Excellency Minister has just announced a couple of minutes ago. And the second parameter is what kind of business model will or is being implemented within these investments, within these operators, and to which we need to pay a lot of attention. Otherwise, we will lose the opportunity in terms of employment. So it's definitely an innovation, a major innovation, and innovation is defined by these two parameters. When you have the same skills, the same business model, it's a routine innovation. When you have different skills, the same business model, then it's incremental. When you have the same skills and a different business model, which seems to be the case, it starts to be a disruptive one. And when you have different skills and different business models, then you're in a architectural innovation. So if we believe that the way we position the Moroccan offer for green hydrogen, for instance, will bring architectural innovation, then the investments we need to do in skills need to be really, really, really important. The ILO gives a couple of figures. In 2020, the overall number of employments generated by the sector was around 20 million. The forecast for 2030 is around 26, 27. But what is important to observe is that the number of jobs that will be destroyed will be around 6 to 7 million, while the ones will be created are much more. So we are definitely in front of a real opportunity, around 28,000 per year, if my figures are good. So the effort we will be making is to make sure that the training facilities that we offer in partnership with the private sector, and we have 3 examples that are very successful, one in Oujda, one in Tangier, one in Ouarzazate, that we call IFMERE, les instituts de la formation dans les métiers des énergies renouvelables et de l'efficacité énergétique, in which we deliver something around 2,000 students per year. Of course, this is not sufficient. We have also 2,000 other institutes of training where we train 660,000 people in vocational training in general. But for employment in particular, our focus is on, one, what types of bonuses the government can provide for the specific investments that are made so that it's impactful and so that it can accompany the integration that His Excellency Mr. Riyad was just advocating a couple of minutes ago. The second thing is it's not just a question of bonuses of what we would inject in terms of facilities, but it's also about the scale of the market, the available resources that will be on the ground. And one last thing is that we need to differentiate between the 3 types of employments that this very specific change will bring. The direct employments are not very, very, very big. It's 10% of what we need. We need 300,000 per year. It might provide 30,000. While you have the indirect and more specifically the inferred employments. Yes, and this is where you spoke about the industry, the mobility, and the electricity itself. So the idea is not to focus on the core business itself solely, but also on the surroundings.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing these insights with us. Excellency Abdel Jalil, from your perspective, what measures is your ministry taking to ensure that the logistics sector is prepared to support the growing demand for renewable energy?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it works. Okay. But first of all, I wanted to share something with the audience. It wasn't planned I'd be on the stage, so I didn't know the question before. And but I couldn't.
We're very happy to have you.
But I couldn't resist going on the stage with my colleagues. Well, basically, of course, the transportation sector and logistics sector is one of the biggest energy consumers and is directly impacted by the need of the transition. And I'm very happy that this World Summit is going on year after year in Marrakech because it helps things move. H2 is the basis for e-fuels, and we are planning to have an e-fuel conference in probably Morocco in in 2025 with our colleagues from Germany. My colleague, Dr. Wissing, already organized 2 of them. It's a very important conference because it brings in politicians, the industry sector, and scientists and researchers to see what kind, yes, of fuels will be fueling the transportation sector. We've been hearing about the shipping and hydrogen and maybe ammonia, but as a Minister for Transportation, I'm open, and I think we need to give chance to any type of energy to develop, and we'll be needing all of them. Now, I just wanted to mention something about this transition. We are talking about a global problem, and we need to think about what kind of policies or policy frameworks at the world level could help us transition, because it's no need for developing countries to transition if others do not. 7 out of 8 persons live in developing countries where there is still a need for developing the systems for transportations. And of course, if the hydrogen or e-fuels are too costly, then they'll be still using the classical fuels to do their transportation. So I'd like to advocate the fact that we need to promote more multilateralism and more solidarity at the international level if we want the energy transition to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for highlighting that. Secretary General Sheikh Nyan, it is such an honor to have you with us, and we want to extend a warm welcome to our brothers and sisters from Senegal. Senegal has demonstrated a growing interest in renewable energies and green hydrogen through the establishment of several solar parks, to name a few. Could you provide us with an overview of the ongoing initiatives and projects in this sector? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. And I would like first to thank Minister Leila Ben Ali for the invitation. It's a great honor for us to be here today. So what I can say for Senegal, I think 10 years ago, we was very low in terms of renewables. We was having less than 7% in our mix of energy in terms of renewables. But we understood very early, around 2010, the need to have a good regulatory framework. So our first law in terms of renewable was in 2010, only for renewable energy. And also we implement a national agency only in charge of renewable energy and to implement renewable energy projects. 3 years ago, we updated the regulatory framework with a low electricity law where we promote renewables. And now we are having around 30% renewable energy in our mix with many solar power plants, wind power plants. We have the largest wind farm in West Africa, and we are continuing on this train. And last year, during a Pact of Paris, we signed a very important partnership with our friends from the G7 countries in Europe that we call the Just Energy Transition Partnership, where the developed country committed to put in place 2.5 billion euros investments, and where we are committed also in Senegal to go up to 40% renewable in our mix. So this was a very huge achievement and very huge, signature for us. But now we have to move forward in doing less bureaucracy and being very pragmatic on the approach, because as you know, we are very good sometimes to sign MOUs and power plants like Minister Leila said, but the challenge will be to implement this project. So we need to work on having little less MOU, little less power plants, little less talking and much more actions and implementing, because the population cannot wait, all this bureaucracy, and we need to be very pragmatic on the way, to implement such projects. Because in our countries, we have these challenges in terms of access to electricity in some of the areas. And I think that the mini-grid solars are very good as a solution to implement in this area. And so I think that Morocco give a very good example to all the African countries on how to implement solar power plants that can have impact on the populations. And in Senegal, we're looking forward using these renewables in order to enable access to electricity, in order also to reduce the cost of production, which is also a challenge for industrialization of our countries, because we have the chance to have here the Minister of Industry, Economy, and also Transportation. In all of these sectors, I think renewable can have a key role to play. That's what we're trying to do in Senegal, where we have this bus rapid transit, which is feed 100% by solar, which is an innovation in the world that we just did with a French company. And also, we are trying to have industrialization of our country, because we cannot develop our country without industrialization. And I think the renewable can have a great role on that one. And we are definitely working on it.
Thank you so much for sharing that review with us, and special thanks also to His Excellency Minister of Energy, Petroleum and Mines, who really wanted to join us today, but unfortunately couldn't make it. We hope to host him very soon. Thank you again for your remarks. Mr. Shakib Lalij, from a private sector perspective, what is your view on this, and how has the green hydrogen Moroccan offer responded to the requests made by the private sector, and what additional measures are being proposed by CIGERM?
Well, thank you for the question. Well, Power to X is reliable and for the future of renewable energy. We have it's a response for challenges such as storage, decarbonize some industries that are difficult to electrify, like shipping, aeronautics, and heavy industries. And also it will stabilize the consumption of renewable energy, which will be like 25% by 2050 of the energy will be renewable. The flagship of renewable energy is the green hydrogen, exactly, where Morocco will have a role to play. Morocco is, from the point of view of specialists, has one of the 6 countries who have all the chance to produce very cheap energy because of the wind, because of the solar, the combination of the two of them, because of the situation, geographic situation, and also the experience like Noor and big experiences in renewable energy. Now, the offer of the Moroccan offer is very interesting because it responds to most of our interrogation, like, for example, creating jobs, creating also an ecosystem. It's very important for us. Like we did in the car industry in Morocco, we would like to have an ecosystem where all the SMEs and the small industries in Morocco can profit from this experience. As we all know, the technology is new and will evolve in years to come. So the proposal also integrate this prospect of technology and give the chance to everybody to come and play a role in producing this green energy. So as a private sector, the most important thing is that it's a game changer for us. We have to decarbonize our industry and decarbonize the countries who are near to us. So we need to be, we need to play a role and also a change of technology and be present in this whole ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing the perspective of the private sector. Excellencies, I'd like to offer you a final round, really quick one, so we could continue the program together. Secretary General Sheikh Niane, as a final word, in terms of cooperation, how do you think the Morocco-Senegal collaboration can strengthen the energy transition for both our countries and also the continent as a whole?
Yeah, thank you very much. For energy transition, I think that with Morocco, we are working very closely. I think that the Minister Leila Ben Ali is having a very good leadership on that one, especially on this gas pipeline that we're doing from Nigeria to Morocco, even passing by Senegal and all this country. So these are this kind of strategic investment that we have to do in the continent, in order to develop our country. And also, I think even in terms of nuclear, we have a very good, cooperation with the Knesset of Maroc. But I think that a part of that, we should continue having in grid transportation, transmission line, working on projects to have interconnection between the countries. We started in West Africa, there's also in North Africa, but we need to work on it in order to have, electricity market between the African countries, and I think that Senegal and Morocco can have the leadership on that one. And I think also we need to go to the COP29 with the voice of Africa, regarding what we can do with renewables, and also to develop the gas as an energy transition to industrialize our country. And I think that our two countries can have a very good role on that one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A voice for Africa. I like that one. Excellency Minister Abdel Jalil, what would be the key message you want to leave us with as a final round?
Simply that, as I mentioned, it is a global subject, so it has to be tackled with international cooperation. And at our national level, I wanted just to mention that we are preparing a mobility charter that will, of course, take into account sustainability, and that will prepare for a vision for how mobility should be for the Moroccan citizens in the next decade. And we're working on that in the next few months.
Thank you so much, Excellency Minister Mazur. Probably a last word on the potential for new industries emerging.
Well, first message, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for your green electrons. We're waiting for your green molecules. Please accelerate. Because if we don't have your molecules and we don't have your electrons, we are unable to produce green. We are very competitive in Morocco now. We have value chains that reach the competitiveness of Asia, that are better than China in terms of competitiveness and quality. But the missing link is you, green energy. Please be fast, be quick, be competitive. Off-takers are waiting for you in Morocco and outside Morocco. Well, we know you have a lot of grants. We know you have a lot of countries supporting to install you in their country. Do it. But never forget that the most competitive way of developing this kind of projects is the sustainable way, without grants, but with off-takers, with the ability to transform these electrons and molecules into products that are very competitive and that serve the world on the long run without any doping. And this is what we're offering now. Second, use all the facilities we're giving to you. We're not only giving land, wind, sun. We are giving brains. We are giving people, hard-working people, motivated company, a good base of people that are only expecting you to use them to develop this type of product or to cooperate with you developing this type of project. Do not exclude them. Read my lips. I will not let you exclude them. I repeat, read my lips. I will not let you exclude them. Third message. Here is the future of the energy security. We're talking about the future of energy security of the region. In Morocco, we have no other choice than to transition, and we will do it. We hope we can do it with you as soon as possible.
Thank you so much for your final remarks, Minister Mazur. Very strong remarks. Minister Sekouri, what would be one key message you would like to leave us with today?
Thank you. Well, we are asked to provide quality, variety, and scale in terms of resources. Otherwise, we will lose and miss the opportunity. And for us to be able to provide these three pillars, we need a model of governance in terms of training. And we've been experimenting with the support of a couple of agencies, especially the French Agency of Development, this model of governance where you build schools of training with the private sector. And of course, for the case of your sector, Madam Minister, it's already a success. Now the question is, do we have the ambition to scale up very quickly and make sure that the professionals, the private sector, is involved in the management of these training facilities in order to provide the scale at the right place on the right time? I'm very optimistic because we've got very ambitious investment plans and we have the engagement of the operators, and I can tell that we also have the expertise now after a couple of years of experimentation where we provide one of the best skills in the region and maybe in the world for a couple of courses.
Thank you for that optimistic note. I'd like to offer the private sector also the opportunity to say a final word. What's one key message you would like us to leave with from the private sector perspective?
Well, you can hear me, yeah. Well, everything has been said. What I will say that all the ingredients are here. Everybody agrees that all the ingredients are here. The proposal is here from the government. Last year we didn't have a proposal. The private sector is mobilized to the success of this game changer for our country and our economy. Now we have to, like Minister Mazur said, we have to start developing for our economy and for the whole economy of the world.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Leila Ben Ali. As we wrap up this ministerial panel, what does success mean to us for this summit? As we embark on this 4th edition of the World Power to X Summit, what are some specific outcomes you would like to see to consider it a success?
Be careful what you wish for. No, I would really love to maybe continue what Mr. Shakib Al-Alij was saying, the president of the private sector, and to, of course, I would wish everyone here successful discussions, a few contracts, some technology innovations, additional jobs, some manufacturing facilities in Morocco. Indeed, that's what we would love to see out of this Power to X Summit. But for me, if 4 people that are in this room, and I would like to take this occasion to also acknowledge the presence of 3 very important institutions. Mr. Khalid Safir, Director General of la CDG, who is an institutional investor, more and more interested in the energy transition space and sustainable development space. Mr. Zarnoun, Director General of l'Agence Nationale des Participations de l'État, with whom we are working very, very hard in transforming the public side of the business. And of course, I think I saw a director from le Fonds Mohammed VI d'investissement. So if at the end of those World Power to X Summit, you are able to convince these 3 people, le Fonds Mohammed VI, la CDG, l'ANXPE, and the president of our private sector here, that you were able to come up with innovating solutions on the technical side and the financial side, and creating additional jobs in Morocco and the region, I think it would be a very successful Power to X indeed. So I will ask these 3 people after the Power to X what they thought and whether they were actually approached or convinced by our beautiful ecosystem here on some innovative solutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we do wish that you get the most value out of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your insights. We would like to kindly invite you to a group photo before we proceed with the rest of the program. Please step forward to the stage for the group photo. Your Excellency, Minister Ben Ali, please join the photo as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this event would not be possible without the support of our partners. We would like to extend a special thank you to our diamond partner, Jeza. I would like to invite you to watch their video, and we'll be back for our plenary sessions. Thank you so much.